Hello, Global Gladiators. We're back with Street Masters Rise of the Kingdom. The campaign for Aftershock has just concluded, and we're going to go over all the cool stuff that has not been covered yet and what you're going to be getting in your package if you purchased it. If this is past November of 2018 and you still want to purchase Street Masters, Aftershock, or any other content, I would recommend, if it's maybe early 2019, going and looking to see if there's a late pledge button available on the Kickstarter, or go to the Blacklist Games website, just look it up on Google or whatever your favorite search engine is, and email them or go to their Facebook page and send them a message to see if you can get yourself a copy. I've personally been able to get just about anything I was looking for, even if it was after the Kickstarter was over, just by asking the publishers if I could get a copy. You save a lot more money than you would on the aftermarket. So let's quickly bring up everything on the left-hand side that we've already covered and everything on the right-hand side that we will cover. As you can see from the right side being a little bit smaller, the acceleration of stretch goals got pretty nuts towards the end. If you want to see how big a success this was, the original May 2017 campaign had $157,000 rounded up and around 1,250 backers. I found out about the game because Obsidian Entertainment, which is made up of people I used to work for at Interplay, and they're from Black Isle Entertainment, the legendary creators of Baldur's Gate and many other games from the late 90s, early 2000s that I hope you go play, because they're out, they're cheap, and they're wonderful, including the Fallout franchise and how that was created. And if you follow Obsidian Entertainment on Kickstarter, you can find out all the cool video game and minis games that Fergus and the rest of the guys are still enjoying to this day. And that's how I found out about Street Masters. And how you found out about it hopefully led up to the November 2018 campaign, which brought in almost $423,000 and almost 2,950 backers. Absolutely demolishing the original campaign, over the doubling both the amount of money and the backers. So thank you to everybody who's now a part of the community. Welcome on in. I hope you go to the Facebook page and you still sit there and bug the Sadlers and Scottie, because they're super active in there and will answer all of your questions. Speaking of Scottie and questions you may have, on the November 20th, 2018 update number 28, he did a wonderful narrative breakdown of all of the stretch goals as they came out. He did it in the style of a story that takes place within Ransom City at the time of Aftershock. Go ahead and check it out. It's a great little piece of fiction, and I'm going to get to the stretch goals. Let's begin by looking at Clan Hattori, and you have Ume, Tora, Rika, and Kenshin as Clan Hattori's boss. Ume, the longer she's out on the board, the harder she's going to hit you. She doesn't have a lot of attacks at the beginning. I would suggest getting her off the board as quickly as possible. Tora, as you can see from this magic shield he has around him, that magic shield is going to get stronger and stronger, and he's going to be harder and harder to get rid of. Reika, who has the bow, yeah, she's going to hurt you, and range is not going to be your friend. Kenshin himself is like a whirling dervish that is attacking you all over the board, moving all over the board, doing kind of small attacks, but a lot of them, and the longer he's out there doing damage to you, the more those attacks are going to be worth. The Schooled and Spring Break decks are very different maps. So for Schooled, you're in a classroom, and I'm not going to spoil the story that goes along with it, but that's the theme, is you're going to have to deal with things in a classroom. And Spring Break is going to be the Japanese Spring Festival, so you're going to have to interact with things that are based around that festival, which is really interesting. So as you can see, Soul of the Cherry Blossom story deck, the idea of cherry blossom festivals and whatnot is at the heart of this deck. Now, not to bury the lead here, but Chan Chan has come to us. We have the Chan Chan fighter. So yes, the rest of this stuff looks Japanese and a panda is Chinese. Ignore that for a moment. we have the Chan Chan fighter deck. Now, why is this so important? It's so important because her deck is designed and her figure is designed specifically to bring in new players. So people that wouldn't normally look at a minis game, or maybe they're really young and the strategy could be too much for them. Chan Chan is simple. Chan Chan is also pretty powerful. And lots of people love these cute little raccoon bear looking things that are huge and, eat bamboo like crazy. You can bring people into the game, find more things to love about it, and instead of just looking at this game and going, oh, it's a mini game, I don't want to play it, instead they'll see it's got a lot of depth, it's got a lot of strategy, and they won't be able to put it down just like the rest of us. Next up came the Cybertooth crew, and these are going to be the hardest ones for me to play because a couple of them look like my ex-girlfriends, and they broke my heart, and now they're going to kick my butt in my games. Why? Because they're going to jump into a computer world and devastate you in cyberpunk style. Wildfire is one of the fighters we know pretty much nothing about, and Renee Benson from Brook City was brought into this game as a new type of hacker. And yeah, she does have the whole cop with a bionic arm, Misty Knight kind of look, but she's going to run a whole bit differently, so never mind about that part. She's her own thing, and she's carried over from Brook City. The way that she works is, I would say, is a slight step above difficulty from Chan Chan. She uses her computer programs to set up attacks for later, and in the form that I've seen right now, she's going to be able to do some really big hits when her charge side flips over. So that's a fighter I'm looking forward to putting out on the table. Nobody knows anything about Wildfire. And the way that the Cybertooth crew themselves work is they're going to be putting more and more of these glitch tokens in place. It feels like you're fighting inside of the Lawnmower Man when you're taking them on. The weapons you see them with highly influence the way that they impact the board. So Lola, she's got a halberd. She's going to be able to whack a bunch of people down. Cindy, she's got the hammer. She can hit you pretty hard. Pucks, he's not going to do much with the boombox, but he's going to inspire the other enemies, and that's going to be a huge problem for you. Now, the way that each of the new stages works, we have pounding pavement, and that's taking it to the streets. You're going to get hit by cars. Things are going to come flying at you. It is a very active stage, and all the rave, it takes place in a bar, but the way the stage runs is like fighting against an 80s mixtape, if that makes any sense to you. It'll make more sense when you get a chance to play it. One thing that I've done before, and feel free to steal this idea, is I will take the pigments for neon colors that glow in the dark, and I will use a little bit of mixing medium and put that on my stage tiles to give it a little bit of a different effect when the, like for Zombicide, if you're going to play the toxic city mall, you get the toxic zombies. Well, I put a neon green pigment inside of all the paints. I hit it with a UV light, and they glow like they're radioactive. So I think that's what I'm going to do here for all the rave. I'm going to go in with some pigment and highlight everything up, so if I hit it with a $3 UV flashlight, everything's going to glow. Now you got all these neon hair colors. One of the things I've done when I've needed to do neon hair colors is I'll prime it white, and Citadel has some good glazes in their technical line that'll give you that neon kind of look. You don't have to use it. You can use whatever's in your area, but hey, there's some tips while you're thinking about what you're going to be painting while you wait. And now we get to play the speculation game, because I've seen nothing about the Renegade reptiles other than the pictures you see here. Master Pie, he sets everything off. These are adults that have been changed into animals as a result of Aftershock, rather than an animal that you may think has been turned bipedal. Master Pie, I have no idea where the name comes from. Crunk, and here's what I'm thinking that each one of these names has to do with the type of lizard that's involved, or reptile if it's not a lizard. I believe it is a monitor lizard, because crunk is, I believe, a type of music. I've been out of the bars and other scenes for quite a while now, so I'm not really sure totally what the kids are listening to, but I believe it is a music thing. Then you would listen to music back on a monitor with a monitor lizard. Huh? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Wicked, we have a horny devil or a thorn devil type of lizard. So a devil would be wicked. Glam, chameleon, I'm pretty sure on this one because of the eyes. And since a chameleon has so many cool colors, which is why it is David Attenborough's favorite animal. Fun fact. Win Jeopardy with it. There you go. And that's what I think for her. And grill, salamanders are tied to fire. So grill, fire, I think maybe it's a salamander. Could be. That one came with the Renegade Reptiles story deck bundle right at the end. We weren't really sure if we were going to hit it, but in the last couple hours, we got the stories and Recyclord. This evil hunk of metal is not going to be in Redemption Pack 2 because it came in so late, but maybe we'll put enough pressure out there for the next Kickstarter that comes in a few years to let's get Recyclord as a fighter, right? He's probably going to have a lot of tokens. I'm thinking he's maybe like a magnetic manipulator of junk and other cool stuff. So we'll see how he plays. There are no specific stages that went along with these guys. Maybe if things turned out a little differently with a whole bunch more money, then maybe there would be another stage thrown in. But there's a lot going on so far. And speaking of the last few minutes of the campaign, we finally got the Mickey story deck. And because we were on this $10,000 per stretch goal momentum, in the last few minutes, we hit the $420,000 line. So there were no stretch goals to know of, and everybody was tired and had turned in at pretty much at that point. So we didn't find out until Scottie had done his incredible update number 28, November 20th, 2018 update. Go check it out on the Kickstarter page. Giant narrative update that it looks like there will be an Axel and Reese alternative sculpt that will be added to the stretch goal box. And that's going to tie into the stretch goals I skipped that I'm going to show you right now. Keeping in mind, Axel and Reese are twin tigers fighters. And to keep you from getting confused, I'm going to explain some things right now. Hey, great. We got all of the stretch goal content. We got all of the social stretch goal content. Clint, Tiger Sulis, the Kingdom. We're going to have more to do with each one of those fighters and stages. But the Onyx League and Axel and Reese are exclusive to the Twin Tigers expansion. If you do not have the Twin Tigers expansion, these stretch goals aren't going to be as useful for you as maybe you would like. Now, that's not going to stop you from playing these showdown decks with other stages or other fighters. That's totally up to you, however you want to do it. But it's one of the reasons why, if the pledge manager is open, or if the blacklist store is open, or if content is available at your retailer, you may want to pick up the Twin Tigers expansion if you didn't do it during this Kickstarter. That's it for me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, want to get a hold of me or anything else, you can always go to the Street Masters fan Facebook page, track someone down in there to answer your question, find someone to play with. If you're waiting until late 2019 or whatever the case is in order to get yourself a game going of Street Masters, go to the Facebook fan page and make some friends. Someone in your area probably has it on the table already, and you guys can go to a local game store and play it however you want to do it, and encourage more people to be part of the hobby. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can subscribe. You can click the +1 or thumbs up button, and more people see it if you give it the thumbs up, because it's rated as a high quality video, and maybe they won't just get a flood of reviews. They might get some of these videos to help them out. That's up to you. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.